Reloading time. Ta-da. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the funny setup, but YouTube is being fun like that. All right. So right now, who cares? So right now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be depriming brass. So if this violates terms of service, man, that would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? I already did some of the brass. I did the 30-06 brass. And my son and my nephew are upstairs, so if you hear baby sounds, that's them. How's the audio? You guys hear me okay? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Yeah, I have this brass here, 30-06 brass. Let's see if it shows up actually. Oh, look at that, it does. So I did 30 of those. I have some already. This is from an old test that I was gonna do. So this brass should be resized, and it was primed, but I took the primers out. And I have those extras here. So I think I have 50 here, 30 there, 20 here. So I have 100 pieces of brass. So that should be plenty to make for that 30-06 ticket that I have. And over here I have my Rough Chucker Supreme, and I am clearing out some of this PMC brass. I think it's PMC brass. No, it's Remington brass. Yeah, I'm cleaning up this Remington brass. But what I'm not doing is I am not cleaning up this here Federal brass, because this stupid shit is crimped. And I hate swaging primer pockets. So that's a throwaway pile. I'm almost through with the 223. And yeah, I'm going to be putting in some Barry's Bullets 55 grain FMJs out of it. I'm not a master reloader, but I've done a bit of it. So if anybody's got questions, ask away. Now, one of the unfortunate parts, the only bad part about the RCBS Rough Chucker is this here primer catcher. That thing sucks completely and utterly. It only catches, I would say, 75% of the primers. The other times it falls on the press or it just falls on the ground. So, what powder and what powder and primer do you recommend for 308 and 223? Primers, unless you're doing bench rest shooting, it literally does not matter. I was reading an article regarding deviation in speeds based on primers, and like you're getting tens of feet per second difference between like good primers and bad primers. Like, is that really that noticeable? You tell me. I don't think it's noticeable. For 308, I'd use Varget, because Varget is just what everybody uses. It's temperature stable. It meters well enough. That's what's in the funnel right now. For 223 though, I was looking at Quick Load, and what Quick Load was saying was that when you put Varget under or in 223, you don't get very good burn rate. You get something like high 80s percentage in terms of burn rate. And what I found worked best, according to Quick Load, was this guy. IMI 3031. that stuff is like 90%, 98% burn rate. Yeah. So for 223, I am gonna do some better testing of it, just to see if I can get some consistent. Oh, that was a harder to deprime one. See, that's a fucking Federal piece of brass. The crimped in primers, you can feel them. So right now I'm not resizing. Right now I'm just depriming because I like to deprime and clean, then resize, because I don't like to get my dies dirty. And this way I don't have to clean up the primer pocket as an extra step, because that's what that's what tumbling will do. So after I'm done depriming all this shit, that's going to be the next step. I'm going to tumble some of this. I won't do that now because that would be very, very annoying to listen to. If you're shooting 600 yards, you're already doing like fancy pants shooting, so maybe then you can start researching which primers are best. I did do some amount of that research because I was planning on shooting those ranges. What ended up happening was I didn't. So why have all the gear and equipment for long range bench rest shooting when I don't long range bench shoot? But for my research, the Federal match primers seem to have the best performance out of the box. I think there was another kind of primer that had pretty good performance in terms of consistency for those match settings. Oh yeah, Ontario is not that good overall. Yeah, like I was saying, you can feel the difference when I pop out the primer and the Remington brass versus the Federal brass. I might actually try and show you what it looks like. What's the price difference between CCI and Federal match? I think full price Federal match is like $7.50, and basic CCIs are like $5.99. So you got like basically a couple of cents per thing. So it's kind of hard to see, but here on this one, you can see that the primer pocket is a lot more open. Here on this one, on the Federal, you can see the primer pocket is not as open around it. So that means that it's crimped in, and that makes a pain in the fucking ass to reload, since every time I have to put in a primer, I have to make sure that the primer pocket is swaged enough. It's just an extra step. And honestly, I don't feel like doing it. Really don't feel like doing it. Ow, fuck. Of course, my finger on my phone. Yeah. The reason I took so long setting this up is because I was trying to set up a live stream using OBS software, which is streaming software. And then I noticed that YouTube actually just lets you straight up stream using a webcam. But I know that the settings here are a little bit funky because I don't know why I'm not getting a full screen view of the live stream here. Unless it is widescreen and I can't really tell. That's entirely possible too. But yeah, for the 30-06, I'm loading it for a Tikka T3X. Left hand, haha. I got it for a pretty good deal if you guys watched the last show. And that was the upgrade to the Remington. Which, by the way... Oh yeah, it does look wide to you? Okay, good. With the Remington, something interesting happened. Along the way, it got redirected for some weird reason. It was supposed to go to Ontario, then it said that I was in Winnipeg. Should not have been in Winnipeg. And then it ended up going to a customer service location in Ontario. And when I was told to contact customer service, now this buyer, he's the one that contacted it. Yeah, 700. If you have an old 700, it's nice, although all 700s tend to have a tendency to go off on their own, unless you got the trigger upgrade that Remington issued a couple of years ago. But yeah, that package ended up going to that secure location in Ontario, because after I contacted customer service, they told me the rifle had broken through the box and it had been immediately redirected, because Canada Post actually has a very, very specific set of guidelines for shipping firearms. One of which is it must be in a case. Oh, nice, Trigger Tech. I almost put a Trigger Tech in mine, but I ended up selling it before I did. But yeah, the rifle broke through the box, and as anybody who has ordered a gun from a retailer can tell you, they never come in a box. It might be the worst option, but it's the cheapest one, man, and I'm not about to spend that much money on this bullshit. I buy and sell way too many of these guns for them to for it to matter. Like seriously, I've had a rifle break through the box before, but they didn't fucking redirect it to nothing. They just fucking delivered it. When I was speaking with the guy, what he said was apparently now they're going to start really looking at that kind of thing, which would suck. I really don't want to have to fucking ship every rifle that I have, or every gun that I have in a case. Restricted? Yeah, maybe, but no way I would do that for any other gun. No way. You guys hear my wife and my sister-in-law upstairs with the babies? After I'm done with the 223 brass, I'm gonna move on to I'm gonna move on to reload depriming some 38 special and 357 brass, because I'm gonna make more of these. Kind of hard to tell, but these are 38 specials with the Campro 125 grain projectiles. Because I'm out of 357, and that is an uncomfortable situation, because I like having 357. I have a lever action rifle that seems to only like the 38 specials with a long case overall length. So I had a couple of issues feeding at some of my 38, so I gotta make plinking 357 ammo. I use those 357s and 38s in a Smith & Wesson Model 686, no dash, so first generation, and a Chiappa Model 92 clone lever action rifle. I know how many of those I have. A couple of those. I think I'm going to make 200 357 Magnums with some Hornady XTP 158, I think they are, grain projectiles. Some big old honking bullets. Yeah. But yours has a lock. Mine doesn't have a lock. Mine's got a nice, smooth frame on the side. No Hillary hole in this house, please. I did a big sorting of all the brass in the house. I had to get into a whole bunch of ammo cans that I have. For the 357s, I'm going to put H110 in the big 158 grain projectile cases. I'm going to go with tight grip for the 38 specials and the 357 blinking ammo because I don't feel like using H110 and just blinking ammo. I also have to find out some load data for rifle versus pistol. I have to check what the speeds are on quick load. I'm a pocket shit. That's a lot of fucking brass. I have a 500. No, for the 38s, I'm going to use the Campro 125 grain ones. The stain ones that I had already on these. They work well, and they're bulk projectiles, and I really don't care too much about it. But I do have to make them long if I want them to work in the lever action. I have a bent pin here. Nope, never mind. Maybe I'll fine tune that heavy load for the rifle. I just usually run minimum load on the revolver because again, who cares? It's just blinking ammo, right? I have to lubricate this thing. I don't know. Doesn't give. It's one of those fucking crimped in primers.
Oh, I did shoot the RDB. All this brass is from the RDB that I bought, come to think of it. Works pretty good. Beats up the brass a lot less than the AR-15 actually. Maybe because the brass deflector on the ARs likes to give brass a good whack when it comes out of the receiver. The RDB just kind of poops out all the brass right in a little pile right behind the mag. Because it's a bottom eject rifle out of a hole behind the mag well. The optic worked pretty well on it too. I was messing around with the gas system because Keltec has a procedure for fine-tuning the gas system. It has such a long travel, the bolt, that it shouldn't impact the back of the receiver, actually. That's what they say. Shouldn't travel all the way to the back. Great. Almost done. I gotta switch over to the other base. Oh, I also shot that Tokarev. It's the Zagstava M70A. It's a 9mm clone. True to the original design, so no safety anywhere except the half cock. Sucks. It's a $200 pistol, so who would have really been that surprised? It was weird because it ran fine for the first couple of mags and then it just went straight to shit. Would not cycle more than 2 rounds without a failure to eject. And every time I would strip the mag, it would shit out another round, which was really annoying. That is filthy. Look at all those primers. Ooh, gross primers. Now off to the 38th. part. That's the right part. Oh, half an hour? Okay, I'll call it now. Well, catch you guys later.